It's literally so bad that they've offended Japanese people and thus have had to delay the game multiple.
How is he not being sued? I don't want him to be sued. We're too sue-happy, but how are you so ballsy, Mr. Grizzly? If anything else, I got to give you that you will go after I don't know what their value is, but a insanely valuable, powerful company when it comes to lawyers. And you will just throw it out there, some bullshit statement about why something was delayed, and you're attributing it to something negative, and you're just like, no one's going to touch you. You got some balls, or you're a fucking moron, sir. A fella who likes to call himself Mr. Grizzy. Is this guy a gamer? Does he play a lot? I don't know. I know that if you go to his site, it's the same old. You know, he's not a minor guy. You know, he's got 30,000 viewers. His videos get more than my videos do, but all of his shit is rage bait shit, right? He's the gamer version of the quartering, or at least that's clearly what he's trying to achieve. And that's fine. It's a business model. It works for people. But it does make me wonder how much of his accusations are actually based on experience when he's playing a game. I only know about this guy now because this guy linked to me this video where I'm on the thumbnail that says woke gamer shills defend Assassin's Creed Shadows. And I thought we could watch it together and I could comment on it, assuming there's something. I mean, I've scrubbed through it. I get the gist of it, but some of the accusations he makes, at least as he applies them to me, feels like, has this guy ever watched any of my shit that he's not just pulling shit from? Woke gamer shills defend Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ubisoft despite multiple delays. All right. I mean, first off, allow me to say I worked in video games as a game director, game designer for over 20 years, pal. I'm not defending anything, let alone because of delays. Multiple delays happen to almost every big game. Do you know how many games? Every Twisted Metal I worked on, every God of War I worked on, Drawn to Death. I'm almost certain Calling All Cars may be the only game I ever worked on that wasn't delayed. So the idea that your headline suggests that defending a game despite multiple delays, like delays suggest or have earned the reputation of if it's delayed, it's going to be crap, so you can't defend it because how could you defend something that's delayed, already shows your lack of understanding of how video games are made, and not just how they're made, but your lack of bona fides as a gamer, because anybody who actually games and has for a meaningful amount of time would recognize that tons of things that go on to be classics, that go on to be your favorite game of all time, are delayed. That has nothing to do with why you would defend a game, because it would suggest the game's in trouble and it needs defending. So you're already kind of off on a shaky start regarding what you know. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and watch your video. Why can't we enjoy things? I think it looks cool, man. I don't care if you buy this game and you stick it up your butthole and then out the box, and the box, while it's in your colon, has shattered and slices up your on the way out.
I get dressed in...
I would say that I am a master of the English language. It's true. It's true. Let's go back. I didn't mean to interrupt this lady. What is she saying? And slices up your on the way out. God,
I get dressed in the morning. I'm triggered. I take a shower. I'm triggered. I get in the car. I'm triggered.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's a meme. Okay. It's got nothing to do with me, but okay.
Can't get away from it.
What do you want? What are you doing with your life? Get a fucking grip, bitches. True. Now, certainly I don't trade. I mean, again, this is, these people like this bother me so much because they'll just throw anybody in. Here's what really bothers me, not the people. The guy making this video is on to a good business model. He's making more money at YouTube than I am, so good on him, okay? But more about the fact that people watch his shit. If you're a fan of this guy, this whatever, Buggy Barry, whatever the fuck his name is, I'd like to be clear on this. He doesn't research clearly, or at least not me. Fake hype, fake reactions. The only time I've ever cried on my stream is when I was talking about my dad or my kids. I never cry. I know that he's not citing me for that. But fake hype? Me? Are you shitting me? Fake reactions, me? I mean, I've made videos about how gross both of those things are and how disingenuous they are. And also, I would let you know the reason well, let's keep going. All right.
So I gotta say, before we get started, that the Ubisoft partners, woke freaks, gaming media, and gamer shill NPCs...
Where am I?
They are hyped for this game.
I am hyped for this game, and you've included me at the beginning of your video in your thumbnail, so I assume I'm one of those 4 descriptors, but you didn't cut to a shot of me, so I don't know which one you're accusing me of, but let's keep going.
I don't know what to say, bro. This game just looks great.
What?
Guys, I have goosebumps. I'm so excited.
Okay, I would never do that. And I do agree that if you're saying a lot of these people come off as disingenuous, you goddamn right they do. They absolutely do. It's gross. Now, I'm not saying there aren't some people that are genuinely like, I'm so fucking pumped for this. Everybody's got that game, right? Or everybody's got that piece of media, okay? And I get that. But a lot of these reaction videos are full of shit. On that, I will agree with this guy. But don't fucking throw me in that bucket. I never do this shit.
Oh my God! Let's go!
Let's not.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Yes, I agree, Wayne. Okay, Wayne says playing to the camera is cringe. 100%. But again, Wayne, you've been around for a long time on this channel. Do I ever fucking play? The only time I play to the camera is when it's obvious that I'm playing to the camera. Do you... I mean, come on. Come on. It's maybe the reason that this video did trigger me is because it's so insulting that anyone would associate me with this kind of performative horseshit on both sides. His shit is horseshit too. Because his whole channel is, God, are you just mad about everything? Does anything make you happy? Whatever this guy's name is. So his shit's just as performative, let's be clear. He's playing a role just like these guys are. And that pisses me off too, that these guys get tons of fans because the audience is too stupid to recognize the full shit. And guys like this get tons of fans because the audience is too stupid to recognize he's playing the same fucking part. It's the people who don't fucking fit in that little definition that these people that should be fans of, AKA me. Wink. See the wink? The sound effect? That was playing to the camera. I wasn't actually expecting you to think that was a real wink and my face makes the sound wink when I do that. That's playing to the camera. Idiots. Thank you. Thank you, V8.
Oh my God.
I mean, yeah, this is really...
God, imagine fake crying for clicks over Assassin's Creed Shadows. And look, she even put it in the thumbnail.
Okay, well, wait a second, Jim Parsons, because that's who he sounds like. Imagine that. I don't have to imagine that, because I could say, imagine every video you put up being bitching about something in order to play to the audience that basically is already agreeing that everything is woke and they're victims. Can you imagine it? He even made his thumbnails talk about that. I mean, it's the same goddamn thing. It's the same goddamn thing. But anyway, let's keep going. Why can't we enjoy things? Jump ahead. Come on.
Assassin's Creed Shadows. And look, she even put it in the thumbnail.
She did.
It's just not what I expected. It's like even better than what I expected.
Shut up, Meg.
These people have already made up their minds that this game is great, despite Ubisoft's track record, and despite the fact that the game has no...
Okay. Again, you're not equipped to have these opinions because they're not researched. Assassin's Creed being good, bad, or other is irrelevant to this particular headline. Forget the fact that Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is the last mainline Assassin's Creed, is the best-selling Assassin's Creed of all time, right? So that particular franchise trajectory is not in any danger at the moment. But Star Wars Outlaws, this guy probably didn't even play it. I finished it. I finished the DLC. I didn't finish it. I almost finished it, the DLC. I think it's a great fucking game. X-Defiant, I appreciated aspects of it, but yes, it was a failure. It has nothing to do with AC. And Sands of Time has been on a number of 2024 Game of the Year lists, and it's also nominated for a number of prestigious awards, such as they are, at the DICE Awards. So what's your point? The fact that they're not selling a lot of copies means that you can't be excited about a game coming from them? Why? Da Vinci says, what if AC fails? Yeah, that would suck for them. Who cares? I mean, I don't care. I don't want to see people lose their jobs. And what they're trying to do looks interesting and has me very interested in playing the game. But yeah, what if it does fail? It might. It might be a total clusterfuck of bugs and just crap. I have no idea. But we will have a better idea this week because the previews drop. So
Even released yet.
It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. I don't know. I know I'm not supposed to have like super duper high expectations, but I just do. I'm excited, and I'm gonna let myself be excited.
okay, that's great. The fact that she's going to let herself be excited, nothing wrong with that. But she is a little overexcited for somebody who, if you have a gaming channel and you have 92,000 subscribers, you'd like to think people subscribe because she knows what she's talking about. It's very rare a game's going to get me that excited without actually having played it. So I won that. Look, all you have to do is go back on this channel and find the Kazan, if that's what it's called, reaction to the demo or reaction to the game, the trailer. And it was like, eh. But then when I played the demo last night, I'm like, holy shit, I love this. So yeah, I don't know. Her response is her response, and I respect that if she says it's an honest response, but it seems like she's mugging for the camera to me, which I don't like.
Questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
This sold me. I'm about to replay some scenes, but this man.
Everything I see of this game looks better and better and better and better. I'm very much looking forward to this game. I am. Don't fucking lump me in that bucket, you moron. Why can't I say what I said, which is everything, and it does. Every time they release more, right? They released just the basic idea. And then they started to talk about, oh, you have grapple hooks, and oh, you can do cool wall runs that allow you to get to better heights with your grapple hooks, and oh, you can't parkour just by pushing forward. You actually have to look at the environment and find handholds. And then you also now, if the AI is as smart as they are saying it might be, you have to take into account the fact that if you are parkouring and you leap off a building, who are the enemies down below, and do you want to do a certain kind of soft landing or not, because it will alert them to you. These are interesting things that if you are into game design and gameplay, that you would have discerned by watching and reading the deep dives that Ubisoft has been putting out. And thus, every single one of my statements there, which is the more I see, the more interested I am, I can back up. It's accurate. Don't fucking lump me in with people that are just trying to get excited and shill, or what. I don't know what they're trying to do. You're saying they're trying to shill. You may be right, but you're shilling too for your side. I'm the only fucking honest broker here. I'm talking literally about the mechanics of the game that you have conveniently lifted out of context in order to make me fit into this group, and then you've put me in your thumbnail. You are such a fucking lightweight at this. Do not come at me. You can come at me if you want, but don't fucking act like you can go toe-to-toe with me discussing game design and video games, you fucking moron. Don't put me in your little montage of horse shit that actually, if you watch it in context, you'd go, I may not agree with Jaffe. I may not like Assassin's Creed. I may not like Assassin's Creed Shadows. And the game may end up being a steaming pile of horse crap. But I'm actually backing it up with mechanics-based discussion on my show. Fucking moron, you fucking no research motherfucker.
Product.
This sold me. I'm about to replay some scenes, but this man.
Everything I see of this game looks better and better and better and better. I'm very much looking forward to this game.
I'm kind of a weeb.
I thought the worst was over. I was mistaken.
Jojo D says, now everyone knows that there will be another video from this guy talking about Jaffe and how he is out of touch. Jaffe's going to give the guy more subscribers. Yeah, but he's going to give me more views, Joe. I don't lie. I genuinely feel the way I feel about this. But do I have every intention after this stream of extracting this, making a clickbait thumbnail, and putting it in the drama section of this channel? Absolutely. And will it probably, for me, get about 4,000 to 6,000 views because this guy's video is done well? And he'll make a reaction video? Absolutely. And out of that, not only will I get paid a little bit more at the end of the month because of that video, but I'll also maybe pick up 5, 10, 8 new subscribers who are like, you know what? Jaffe, I didn't know he had a YouTube channel, or he's got a good point. He's not a shill, and he's pushing back on this moron. So yeah, I mean, it's absolutely calculated. The difference is I let you know it's calculated. Angel says, I feel like the video included Jaffe's reaction only for more coverage. He probably just asked his editor to find people reacting positively. Great, Angel, but you know what? That's another reason that this guy can be seen as not good at his job. Without actually going through the work and going, hey, editor, and I edit my own shit for the most part. He doesn't even edit his own shit. That's even worse. But I mean, not there's anything wrong with hiring an editor, but if you're going to hire an editor and tell him to do something and then you're not going to have the responsibility to fact check it, and you watch this guy's channel and you don't call him out on that, you got a big fucking problem. Hey, Movie Maniac. Yeah, I know. By the way, have you gotten your gift card yet? Didn't you win the contest yesterday? Hit me up in the chat. I haven't heard from you. All right, let's keep going.
And on the flip side, we have Naue, who comes from the province of Ubisoft, which is a remote...
Good for her.
What the fuck? She's gay. She's so gay for this character. You know, there's a lot of reasons that Ubisoft as a company is failing, but one of the bigger and yet least talked about reasons is the fact that this is their new target audience.
Okay, let's stop for a moment. Okay, I don't care about the DEI stuff. Do with that what you want with this game. But you have lost the high ground and you have lost the right to talk about the way people look and what they are attracted to when you, my friend, Mr. Grizzy, you don't use your real name. You don't have any sense of what you look like. You use a fake bullshit avatar. And then when you go on some of your live streams and stuff, and I think you've done some lives, you don't even, you go on one of these bullshit shows that have,
this award show time here. I don't think Luis,
you don't actually have a picture of you. I mean, unless this is you.
They're making
okay,
fun
and if this is you, but I don't know if it is or not. Let's see. I don't even know who you are, but okay, so is this the guy? Okay, that is Mr. Grizzy. So you've kind of sort of showed your face. Okay, my bad, Mr. Grizzy. I'll walk it back. You have the courage to show your absolute beta soy boy vanilla face, just like I do. And you're now saying that that woman is wrong for saying that she's attracted to that other woman. Well, okay, I guess if you want to judge her like that, that's fine. But my bad.
Why can't
my bad? You did show your face, and so I am wrong on calling you out for that. Let's continue. Although I do think that assassin woman is cute, you know.
Let's go back. A lot of reasons that Ubisoft as a company is failing, but one of the bigger and yet least talked about reasons is the fact that this is their new target audience.
So?
From the province of Ubisoft, which is a remote...
You've got a dirty, whorish mouth. That's what you have.
I mean, again, he may be right that that's their new core audience, but okay, so.
A black samurai, fucking awesome.
It's a black guy!
Oh, you did? Okay, Movie Maniac. Okay, yes. If you haven't heard back from Tech today, then hit me up. I'll take it, get you hooked up today.
Oh! That's me! Whoa! When they put me in the game, y'all.
Okay, so look, I don't think he's going to include me in this section because I've never really, I don't care if it's a black, I mean, it doesn't matter to me who it is. Assassin's Creed to me is a fantasy game, basically, that's kind of semi-steeped in history. When you've got a black guy going, I like being represented in the game, and you've got a white guy who's been represented in the game in every game almost since the beginning of video games, I'm going to side with the black guy's take and go, he's a better person to speak to the value of representation for people who have been underrepresented in games. And maybe it is important to them. I can't speak to that. I'm a white guy. I know there's an echo, guys. I can't get rid of it. And you guys have told me it's acceptable. If it's not acceptable, then I'll fix it. But you guys have all let me know there's an echo. And I've basically said, do you want me to stop the stream and fix it? And then we'll get back to it. And everyone said it's not that bad. But if it's unlistenable, I'll get rid of it. Absolutely. I don't want to harm the show or anything. But yeah, I mean, this guy seems to care about representation. He seems to think there's value to it. And the other guy doesn't. Great. You know, whether or not you're bothered by the samurai being a black guy or then it not being a samurai, he's a retainer, whatever. You know, I get it. I mean, if that really bothers you, then of course, don't play the game. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I think he looks cool. I think Assassin's Creed, I don't need any of my video games to be historically accurate. That's not what I'm playing this game for. But if that's important to you, then that's great. Go walk away from it. But the idea that inclusion matters, I'm going to believe a black guy when it's a black character. If it's a trans character and it's a trans guy saying it, I'll believe that. I'm not going to believe some straight white cis guy. Why? I can't speak to that.
Put me in the game, y'all.
No offense to anyone, but I feel like the Asian character has been done enough times.
What?
So what then? We gotta get rid of Asians playing characters in which the setting of the story takes place in Asia?
No.
Not a great plan.
He's not saying that. He's just saying in this, you know, I mean, come on. My God, this guy's so fucking junior high debate club. No one is saying that. He's just appreciating what's there. And he's saying, I've seen a lot of Asian characters in this role, and it's kind of cool to see a black dude. That's what he's saying. And then you jumping to this conclusion.
What?
So what then? We gotta get rid of Asians playing characters in which the setting of the story takes place in Asia?
No, he never said that. And more importantly, and again, I'm not saying this, I have no idea, but I really would love to think, and maybe this cutscene plays to that they are going to speak to the racism. They're probably not, but it would be really cool if the game spoke to, like, we have this little girl, and she clearly is like, I'm assuming what she's responding to is, A, it's a samurai, and it's a black samurai, or a black retainer samurai, or whatever historically you want to call them. It'd be great if the game actually dealt with that othered aspect, but it probably won't, but that would be cool. But we haven't played it. We don't know yet.
The setting of the story takes place in Asia?
Not a great plan.
I know it's not exactly confirmed that if he was a samurai or wasn't, but he's technically the first black samurai.
What?
It's not confirmed, but, you know,
yes,
technically he is.
She spoke horribly. She said basically nothing, and it was stupid. Why is this in your video? Yes, we can make fun of her because she said something stupid, but do you really want to go toe-to-toe with people saying stupid things? I'm sure you've got a litany of them, pal. But yeah, it was a dumb soundbite.
And I think it's cool that he's going to be in this game.
That doesn't make sense.
And there's no historical...
Oh, I think, yeah, and then let's bring crumbs. Carlos says Jaffe is like, I can't speak for black people as he speaks for black people. I'm not speaking for black people. I'm literally saying that that guy was a black guy who said it. He said, there's a lot of Asian people in games in this role, and I like seeing a black guy. The guy who said it was black. I was simply repeating what he said, Carlos. Grums. Okay. Here we go. Let's open this can of stupid, nasty worms.
Record that Yasuke was a samurai. He was a footnote in the Nobunaga story, fought in a battle, and was imprisoned. Nothing much was known about him, but Ubisoft decided to make him the protagonist anyway, because several years ago they made the decision that they are going woke and they are going to be pushing DEI in all of their games. So
okay, well, again, if you were not that you're in a court of law, but you're drawing these conclusions that, and by the way, Grizzy guy, you may be right. Maybe that's exactly where this came from. Cool or not cool. Your mileage will vary on that, but you can't really. The proper phrasing of this point is, I think because of this commitment they made, this is why you're seeing these decisions, right? You don't really know that. You don't have any data to back up that this decision was tied to this. But it's a probably good 50-50 guess that it was. But the bigger point, though, is just because it was, if it indeed was, the bigger point is, so what? If you don't like it, that's a valid point. If you want to just say, for whatever reason, Assassin's Creeds have always been filled with historical inaccuracies, but this is a bridge too far for me. Whether because narratively speaking, you don't like it, historically speaking, you don't like it, just at a gut level, you don't like it, maybe you're a fucking racist. I don't know why. But whatever reason, at least you can kind of own that because you're explaining your take on it. But there's lots of, again, if you had worked in games or worked in any creative field that you're speaking about, you would know that all art form that's paid for by big companies, you get things called studio notes. For whatever reason, there's always an initiative. When I was working at Sony, Phil Harrison went and saw the movie An Inconvenient Truth back in the 90s with Al Gore. And he sent out an email that was like, I want a lot of our games to start dealing with this important issue. Then he forgot about it like a week later. But for like a week, he was on the high horse of like, wait, this is important, right? And good teams are able to take those studio notes, whether it's a movie, a game, whatever, and work with them. And bad teams are not. But the idea that there may have been a studio note that led to this choice is totally irrelevant. What's relevant is this a good or bad choice? Does it help or hurt the game? And it's okay if you think it hurts the game, but speak to that. But you're just throwing shit at the wall that's somewhat tangentially related and acting like you're building some kind of Rachel Maddow quality, or for you, which is probably more of who's the guy who did the 3,000 Mules and got sued because it was inaccurate, but a lot of people thought it was accurate. You're trying to build this case, but you're throwing things to build the case that aren't really relevant to what you're talking about.
Going woke, and they are going to be pushing DEI in all of their games. So when the idea for an Assassin's Creed game set in ancient Japan came up, they scoured the history books in search of someone who fit their DEI agenda and then reworked everything about this guy so that they could make him their protagonist.
Okay.
And these woke gamer SJW types love it.
It's just so amazing. I love that he's a foreigner. I love that he represents the player, you know, appreciating these cultures. And
I mean, that may or may not be true. I don't know if that's his character, but
it's a black samurai, dude. I fucking love that. I love it.
Shut up, Meg.
Feelings over facts. Describe.
No, they're not feelings over facts, you fucking moron. If this guy cannot recognize he is as much of a it doesn't matter. It rubs me the wrong way. Okay, I'm sorry. I want smarter people. His audience that buys his bullshit is as dumb as her audience that buys her bullshit. You guys are both performing. You know that, right? He's playing a role. Here's how I know he's playing a role, because at least one of his videos, if he wasn't playing a role, would be about something positive. Unless he's just the most oppressed man in America or in the world and everything he hates. Because every one of his videos is about how bad everything is. He's playing a character just like she is. Don't you see that, you guys? Don't you see that? You fucking 20,000, 30,000 subscribers of Mr. Grizzy. Why is this hard?
Grabs these people perfectly.
Oh, please pay me, Ubisoft. I'd love to get money. Hey, if you're watching, Grizzy, let me know how this magical transaction happens. I have been working with Tech Protect, our new producer, trying to find sponsors for the show for the last week. It's a big initiative for us in 2025. I will never take money from people who have products I don't believe in, and I haven't played Assassin's Creed Shadows yet. But if you're saying that they are in the market right now to give money to people to talk good about their game, I will talk very good about their game based on what I've seen, as long as I'm also allowed to say if it comes out and it's a piece of shit, I'm going to say that too. So you clearly, because again, you must be a well-researched channel, otherwise you wouldn't be putting out things and lying to your audience or hoping your audience isn't smart enough to actually do any, fact-checking. You must know that these things exist, these relationships, right? Please tell me how I can get one, because I'd love to make more money by talking about things I love. But anyway, let's continue. As you're trying to sell this game so hard, is Ubisoft paying you? Why can't we enjoy things? I think it looks cool, man. It does look cool.
So I just went to a special event in LA
and don't fucking put my shit with their shit. I didn't go to a special event in LA. I didn't get to play the game early. I've never been paid a dime from Ubisoft. Why are you lumping my content in with these people? One could argue that there is a level of defamation, and I'm not a sue happy guy. I'm not teasing that. I'm just saying that you might want to think about, like, a jury could watch this and go, this guy in the yellow shirt, this guy called Jaffe, is being put in two sections. One is a section, the first one about fake hype, and the second one, he's being put in a section about shilling for a game. And one would assume that in a jury situation, they would say, oh, Mr. Grizzy clearly was saying Jaffe is in that category in 1, and Jaffe is in that category in section 3. And he also clearly is important enough to make the point of the video, woke gamer shills defend Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ubisoft despite multiple delays, because he actually is starring in the thumbnail. Interesting. One would assume, not because you would be afraid of a lawsuit, but because you would have more respect for your 30,000 fucking subscribers on YouTube, that you would do your research before you attach people and end up defaming them in your videos because you're putting them into sections that they don't belong in. Now, let me be very clear. I am not making a threat regarding suing you. I will not sue you for this. I know there are people who will, and depending on the case, they have every right to, and they have my support. I'm not bringing it up because I want you to think that I'm making a veiled threat that I will sue you for defaming me. I'm bringing it up because I want your audience to see how shit you are at your job. All right, let's keep going. In my opinion, look what I did. See, I'm a smart guy. Objectively, are you shit at your job? I don't know. Subjectively, I think you're shit at YouTube.
By Ubisoft, where they were showing off Assassin's Creed Shadows early.
I am an Ubisoft partner. This is not sponsored by them. I just watched this trailer on YouTube. I don't get anything from them. Occasionally I get a free game code.
I don't get that
This
either.
isn't one of those times.
Well, you are definitely trying to earn it with cringe fake reactions like this.
We are the shadows.
Here's the thought, Ubisoft, don't send me a code. You want to pay me? I'll put an ad up. I'll speak about your game and I'll make it clear it's a paid advertisement. I don't want your fucking codes. How about that? Yves Guillemot, you were overseeing a company that had apparently alleged all kinds of horrible sexual harassment and sexual assaults and toxic behavior. I'm glad you got rid of those people, but the fish rots from the head down, Yves Guillemot. And so don't only contact me if you want to pay me to be an advertiser and I can let people know. But I'm not looking for your fucking codes. You get it, Mr. Grizzy? I've had fucking steak dinners with Yves Guillemot before, by the way. You don't even know, you probably don't even know who runs the company. Probably don't even know anything about the company you're talking about. But that's fine. You don't have to make a video. But here's my point. I've never taken a dime from these guys. Have I? I did pitch to them, but I pitched them remotely. They did offer to fly me out to France to pitch them a game of mine when I was looking for a publisher, but that was way back in the day, and that's a totally different thing. But short of that, the idea of them ever giving me any kind of money or gifts or trips never happened, never been offered.
I got a Christmas gift from @Ubisoft.
Cool.
Merry Christmas, Outlaws. Thank you so much.
Yep. And guess what? Because she got that and because she posted that, I wouldn't trust her when it comes to, I'm not saying I wouldn't trust her at all, but I would basically be a little bit more standoffish about, do I trust her and what side is her bread buttered on? Wink. I did again. I was conscious. I was playing for the camera. I was winking. Absolutely. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. Sure.
I don't get anything from them. Occasionally I get a free game code.
And how much you want to bet they get the game code for the Ultimate Edition, which is
I will have the Ultimate Edition, but not because of game code, but because I pay, and I got the receipts to prove it. I pay $18 a month for day one Ubisoft Plus, and I do it on PC, and I play it through Engage or Engage. No, not Engage. What's it called? GeForce Now. Engage would be very interesting. The point is, I will be playing this version, but I'll be paying for it, as I paid for Star Wars, as I paid for the Crew Motorfest.
$50.
Well, obviously.
And the reason these people do these cringe fake reactions and post them on YouTube is in the hopes that Ubisoft notices them and rewards them.
Don't notice me. Don't notice me, Ubisoft. Yves Guillemot did a wonderful thing as CEO, but he also resided over that company and lorded over that company when a lot of people were being assaulted or allegedly assaulted. I don't want you to notice me. Do not fucking look at me, because maybe I'll then get assaulted by Yves Guillemot. He didn't, I don't think he's accused of it, but people in his company. Nobody's looking for a fucking code. I'm 50 fucking 3 years old. You think I need Ubisoft to notice me and send me a fucking gift package for Assassin's? What's the matter with you?
A concern. I would love to cover gaming events and hands-on demo events on my channel and socials. I know I'm still a small fry, but I'm growing. Sincerely, a creator who's jealous of missing out on the Star Wars Outlaws event. Also, at Ubisoft, I'd love to be considered.
Why am I in this video, Grizzy?
Shadows.
Why the fuck am I in this video?
It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. Holy shit.
Ubisoft butters up and gives access to shill influencers in exchange for praising their games. They did it for Star Wars Outlaws, which I covered in another video.
Okay, now, again, if I was Ubisoft, by the way, and far be it from me to tell them what to do with their lawyers, but if I was, I mean, seriously, Grizzy, you're gotta be careful, man. I hope you have insurance. I have insurance through my company. But when I started a YouTube channel, I'm like, people crazy. People litigious motherfuckers. I'm not one of them. I'm not making a threat. What I'm telling you is if you're going to accuse Ubisoft of paying, I mean, this is illegal now, or you will get fined by the federal, the FTC for this. This was a big brouhaha, and there are penalties in place now. So if you are comfortable making a video saying Ubisoft has paid influencers to go to LA and visit Disneyland as part of the marketing campaign, and then what you just said is pretty fucking dangerous if you don't have proof to back it up. Listen to what you said.
Good. It's gonna be so good.
Listen to this.
It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good.
Not that.
Holy shit.
Your line.
Ubisoft butters up and gives access to shill influencers in exchange for praising their games.
Okay, that statement could get you in a great deal of trouble if you don't have evidence to back it up. We know they paid for them to go around, but did they say, if you come here and if you get whatever it is you're saying they got, a visit, a trip, this, that, and the other, you have to praise our game. And if you do that, you don't need to put this is a paid ad. If you don't have evidence that that occurred, then I would recommend re-editing this video and removing that one line. Not that I'm a lawyer, go talk to Hogue, but I'm pretty sure from my lawyers that you just you got to be careful with that line. I'd get rid of it if I were you, but far be it from me to tell somebody who clearly does his research, what he should do.
They did it for Star Wars Outlaws, which I covered in another video, link to that below in the description, and they're doing it here for Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh, that's two accusations. Now he says he has proof that it happened for Star Wars, and he has proof that it happens for Assassin's Creed. That's two. That's twice.
Ubisoft asked me to come check out the new Assassin's Creed Shadows at a special event in LA.
Yep.
I just couldn't say no.
But remember, everyone.
But wait, did he say they asked me to come to LA and check out Assassin's Creed Shadows in order in exchange for good press? Don't know.
This is not.
He must know.
Not payment.
I'm not being paid. I'm just doing this because I enjoy the game.
It looks like he's not going to address the fact that he has absolutely no evidence to back up relatively important accusations. Of course, access journalism is a thing, Joe Munger. It's not overt, but it's something that happens. Of course it happens. We all know that it happens, but there's a difference. There's a difference in saying, there's a difference between a video game company sitting down and going, we know there are a lot of YouTubers and TikTokers and all this shit out there, and they want access because access gets them clicks, and we can't expressly say this access needs to equal positive response. But we know, Ubisoft marketing PR, if we butter these guys up, there's a good chance, because they're kind of small fry people, they will praise us. That's legal. That's totally legal. It sucks, but it's totally legal, right? That's different than saying Ubisoft buttered these people up in exchange for positive responses, because that is now making an accusation that there was a deal between the influencer and Ubisoft that if we give you this, you advertise and shill our product. And that comes with hefty FTC fines. And I guarantee you that hasn't happened.
Rebuild.
See?
She not damn prejudiced or racist like these. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's taught, bro.
The argument is, this is stupid. It's I'm back. Okay, well he might again. I hope he's done his research because the first Assassin's Creed in Japan, and they couldn't give us a Japanese dude. It's like, well, they did give you a Japanese woman, and they did give you an authentic, historically accurate Japanese samurai from Japan.
Nope, we went over this earlier. It's not historically proven he was a samurai.
Yes, we didn't go. Grums went over it earlier. Let's be clear on this first. I don't know where this stands. I've heard multiple things about this character from history, but regardless, you saying what I just said is invalid because of a tweet that says, I mean, God, this guy's not bright. Grum says, this is Grum's tweet. This is the smoking gun clearly for Mr. Grizzy. So Ubisoft apparently changed Assassin's Creed Shadow. So you're not basing it off of, I'm Grums, I have evidence, I have a document showing that Ubisoft did this. It's a tweet from a guy who is a known tweeter of inaccuracies, by the way, as it relates to Mr. Matty Plays. He walked it back, but he's got a history now of that. It's a guy from a known tweeter of inaccurate information saying not only that Ubisoft did this, but they apparently, which basically is your get out of jail free card. So I'm sorry, Grizzy, you don't get to say, nope, check, got you there, Jaffe. We already went over this. No, you showed me a tweet from a guy who doesn't always tweet accurate information that even in the tweet that you're referencing says apparently, but I don't really know. So whatever you're going to say next is ripped out of the conversation, but let's continue.
He was a retainer, and Jaffe here got very triggered after getting corrected on this.
Jaffe. He was a retainer. Who gives a shit? No, I didn't get triggered. Who gives a shit whatever the fuck he was? He's a black man as a samurai in a fucking video game about a goddamn machine that lets you see into the past and fucking control ancestors' DNA. Fuck off. Mm-hmm. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm a white guy or white presenting. Don't you think we have enough? Let the black people have a goddamn samurai in the video game. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, nobody is advocating for a white samurai in this game. We just...
Yeah, but we are talking about a black samurai. And I stand by that. Whether he was a retainer or not is irrelevant. Whether he was made up out of thin air is irrelevant. Because in order to care about that part of the argument suggests that the thing that you're really upset about is the historical inaccuracies. But I guarantee you could go through every Assassin's Creed game, and including this Assassin's Creed game, which you haven't played and I haven't played, simply based on what they've shown, and you can find lots of historical inaccuracies. So the only thing that we are left to assume is because this particular historical accuracy is what you're choosing to make videos on and focus on and shout about, is because it is a black man. Not because, if you were a professor of history at Yale and you're like, I have been so impressed by Assassin's Creed when they brought out Da Vinci in Assassin's Creed 2, or they deal with the Greek, the ancient Greek, not just the myths, of course, that didn't happen, but the philosophy about them, all of that was so well researched, and now I'm disappointed in Shadows because they didn't do that. Okay, cool. But that's not your argument, because where are your complaints about all the other historical inaccuracies in the game and in the series in general? They're nowhere. Okay, so no to whatever else you're going to say next, but, fuck it, we'll keep going.
See what Ubisoft is doing. It's clear as day that they are pushing a political identity politics agenda.
I think he's a cool looking character. I think she's a cool... Okay, well, is that your argument? Is your argument that they're pushing a political... Let me go back. I'll let you say it yourself.
See what Ubisoft is doing. It's clear as day that they are pushing a political identity politics agenda.
Okay. I'm not saying they are or aren't, but if they are... Okay. And by the way, if you don't like that, okay. Or if you don't have a problem with it, but you don't like the way it's written, okay. But then just say that. Man the fuck up, or it's not even a man issue. It's not even a guts issue. It's an issue of you not sitting down and going, this makes me angry. Assuming it really does. Assuming you're not just making videos to complement the other videos on your channel that are bitching about any and everything. But assuming this actually did, put a bee in your bonnet, Grizzy, why didn't you do the work then of sitting down and going, this makes me angry, and I need to figure out why it makes me angry before I just start espousing horse shit and going, it's these reasons, right? Because maybe it is an agenda, but there's a lot of agendas. You think, do you think when movies get funded by different investors, individuals, and companies, they don't come with agendas? You probably don't know about them because you don't notice them, because there's not money in making a story about China demanded that that if the movie's going to be released in China, they want to take out these 3 lines of the script that paints China in a bad light. That happens all the time. No one complains. Some people complain, but you don't complain. Or if India gives you your financing and there's a pro-Pakistani message, maybe they're going to go, yeah, we want to fund this movie for you, but could you maybe not be so hard on the Indian-Pakistan, issues, right? This is, and it goes everything from that to the investor's daughter really likes Ewan McGregor, so put him in the role. It's been happening since there's been paid for art, that the people who pay for it have influence over the art. So yes, it may be coming from that, but explain why it's bad if it is. It's not a smoking gun that it might be coming from that. Okay, so what? Anyway, let's see what I have to say, because it's clearly more research than what this guy has to say, in my opinion.
I think this day that they are pushing a political identity politics agenda.
I think he's a cool-looking character. I think she's a cool, sexy-looking character. She's a sexy ninja lady.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, let's be clear. I look the way I look. I'm at best, on my best days, an average-looking guy. I've seen what you look like. You're at best, we're equals. At worst, you're not an average-looking guy on your best day. Don't fucking judge who I want to fuck. I think she's a sexy ninja. It may just be the fact that she's a ninja. A woman Japanese ninja may be all I need. I'm not going to sit there and be some kind of, and no offense, but when men got to the point, especially men that look like you and me, got to the point where we can judge women like we're Eddie Murphy and Boomerang kicking women out, most beautiful woman in the world, but we kick her out of bed because she got a bunion on her toe. I don't know when that started, but you, sir, are in no position to have any opinion. A woman looks at you nice. You say thank you, and you pray to whatever God you pray to that you got some attention that day from a pretty woman or a woman at all. Don't fucking put a clip up like you're judging who I'm going to bed with, you stupid motherfucker. Jesus Christ. I'm not Jaffe. Benjamin says, Jaffe, be nice. Grizzy has fucked an assortment of beautiful pillows. He may have. That's true. That's fair. Japanese, really, Jaffe? So maybe you'd have to ask a Japanese guy and go, hey, does it bother you that... Because the argument is, this is stupid. It's the first Assassin's Creed in Japan, and they couldn't give us a Japanese dude. It's like, well...
Well, to answer your question, they hate it just as much as we do.
I don't...
5.4K likes to 57,000 dislikes on the trailer.
Okay, so what you're saying is, first off, all those dislikes are coming from just Japanese people. And again, they may not like it either. Cool. They have a right to not like it. They have a right to not buy it. But that's not germane to what the issue of your video is about. I like it, and I'm not shilling for it. I'm not defending it, and it doesn't need defense because there have been delays. That's what your video is about. But yes, is it possible that the people who think like you outnumber in the gaming space the people who think like me, and this game's going to come out no matter how good it is because he is a black samurai? That is a bridge too far. It's very possible. I hope not, assuming it's a good game. But sure, of course it's possible. Why is that what this video is about? I mean, it's not. It's not what the video is about.
What a shock.
I know good and well this man's not about to criticize somebody for not doing the research, because if there I don't even have to say it. I don't even have to say it.
Already touched on the historical inaccuracies of this game already, but it's important to realize that some of these people actually look at what we got in this trailer as historical fact.
I would bet a lot of people don't know that there was a black samurai.
Yep, this was a samurai based off of history. Like, he's got a really cool story.
And they are absolutely doing their research. They literally went to that province. They're looking at everything they possibly can. And so you know it's going to be respectful.
Few moments later.
Ubisoft gives a lengthy apology for Assassin's Creed Shadows not being 100% historically accurate, and that their Assassin's Creed games are not meant to be a factual representation of history, but, quote, historical fiction.
And by the way, I don't care, but B, I never said. What I said was I heard he was a real samurai, and then I've heard people say, no, he's not. And then I saw Ubisoft's comment, which they're putting up on this guy's video, saying, while Yasuke is depicted as a samurai in Assassin's Creed Shadows, we acknowledge that this is a matter of debate and discussion. I don't know. That's as far as I've researched it. I don't know and I don't care, which is why I haven't researched it. But I'm also not making videos about why it bothers me, because it doesn't. But if it turned out this is a real assassin, or a real samurai, great. If they said we made this up, we pulled it out of our butthole because Yves Galmont walked in and said, give me black person for DEI. He doesn't talk Japanese, but that was my French version. I don't know why. Then I would say, okay, cool. I don't care. And more importantly, I don't think you should care. The fact that you do care makes me question your motivations, because who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Right? I understand why the people in Japan were upset because the way the shrine or something, there was a depiction in the game or in some press event of a shrine, and the shrine is a very holy thing and it was disrespectful. That I can go, okay, I'm not a religious person, but I can understand that. But okay, so they made a black samurai. They also, made a machine that lets you live your ancestors' experiences through their DNA. Who gives a shit? It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Fiction.
And they are absolutely doing their research.
It's literally so bad that they've offended Japanese people and thus have had to delay the game.
So this is that thing he does in his videos. I think what he's talking about, now again, he may be talking about the samurai as well, but this headline is also speaking to the shrine issue. And I don't know which one he's talking about. If he doesn't bring up the... Here's what I'll tell you again about, is this guy an honest broker, Mr. Grizzy Subs? If he brings up the shrine, then he's in the clear. But if the whole video, he's only focused on the black samurai as being the thing that the Japanese folks don't like, and then he shows you a headline, and multiple headlines like this talk about the shrine being a big bone of contention, then once again, he either doesn't do his research before he speaks to you, which should be disqualifying if it were me, or he simply doesn't care because he just wants to make you angry and tell you what he knows you want to hear, which is fine to go to people who tell you what you want to hear. But don't you want to go to people who tell you what you want to hear that you also know you're getting the facts from? I think you should.
Japanese people and thus have had to delay the game multiple times.
So whatever.
Wait a minute.
Have had to delay.
Are you now saying this is what's caused the delay? Tell me he didn't just link that.
Not being 100% historically accurate, and that their Assassin's Creed games are not meant to be a factual representation of history, but, quote, historical fiction.
And they are absolutely doing their research.
It's literally so bad that they've offended Japanese people and thus have had to delay the game.
I'm not doing a bit when I'm taking a pregnant pause. I'm staggered that the man literally, maybe he did the audio and sent it to his editor, and then the editor put up stuff and didn't check that it's not matching the sound. them delaying the game. Now, it may have been, but again, I think he should provide the evidence because I've never seen any reporting to suggest that Assassin's Creed being delayed, which is something I believe a publicly traded company, they're talking about this legally speaking. They can't really go on an investor call and lie about things because it affects people's financials, right? And there's laws against it. You're telling me now that he has evidence that the reason the game was delayed twice, even though Ubisoft in both cases said it was to give the team time to iron out bugs and polish it, maybe get a day one patch out that they can make the game better, and it was to assess kind of their business, this, that, and the other. Those were the official reasons I remember. Now, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but they've never said what this guy is saying, which is it was so bad I mean, think about it. I'm not mad at this guy. I'm mad at our culture that allows a guy like this to have 30,000 people following him and listening to him. 15,000 views this video has gotten. And he literally is saying something that has absolutely no basis in evidence that we've seen. And if he's seen it, he'd have a lot more than 15,000 views because he'd be breaking a hell of a story, which is Assassin's Creed Shadows was actually delayed not because of the Tencent conversations, not because of the turmoil that's rumored to be happening on the team, but because the Black Samurai has infuriated so many people in Japan that they have chosen to put a lot more runway between that drama and the release in hopes people would forget it. And by the way, I see you in the chat, Ravnos. Why are you doing Asmongold reaction content, bottom of the barrel content? Let me explain something to you. I know you're here a little late. I'm not responding to this because I just want to respond to it. Here's the thumbnail, bitch. Who do you got there? Who do you got there, Ravnos? Who's on that? Yeah, it's your Papa Jaffe. Who's being called a woke gamer shills defend Assassin's Creed? And if you had gotten to class on time, sir, you would have understood that I am marbled all throughout this video. I am being pulled into his shit and being called things in sections of this video that he has absolutely no evidence that I ever said. Why can't we enjoy? Oh, but you know, let's assume though, and they couldn't give us Jack. Let's keep going.
Actually, look at what we got.
Apology for that their Assassin's Creed games are not meant to be a factual representation of history, but quote historical fiction.
And they are absolutely doing their research.
It's literally so bad that they've offended Japanese people and thus have had to delay the game multiple.
How is he not being sued? I don't want him to be sued. We're too sue-abby, but how are you so ballsy, Mr. Grizzly? If anything else, I got to give you that you will go after I don't know what their value is, but a insanely valuable, powerful company when it comes to lawyers. And you will just throw it out there, some bullshit statement about why something was delayed, and you're attributing it to something negative, and you're just like, no one's going to touch you. You got some balls or you're a fucking moron, sir.
Times.
So whatever the reasoning for Shadows being delayed, hopefully it makes for a better game.
Not gonna happen! No, not gonna happen!
However, I am confident that all of these people will be back defending this game. However, Let's just be clear.
I'm not suing anybody. But again, when he says all of these people, who does he cut to? I don't fit in 90% of the content of this video that he's talking about. But all of these people, why is he cutting to me? I don't like that. That's not accurate.
Gonna happen! No, not gonna happen!
However, I am confident that all of these people will be back defending this game when and if it eventually releases. So please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that upcoming content. Check out some of the other videos already live on the channel. Smash that.
No, thank you, sir. All right, that's that story. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Thanks for putting up with that, but it pisses me off, man. Shit like that. But let's move forward. So here's what we're going to do.